Okay, region and the empire. As construction activity increased between the 8th and 18th century, there was also considerable sharing of ideas across the region. The tradition of one region was adopted by another. Means when the construction it is increasing, the number of construction increased from 8th century to 8th century 18th century. That time we are receiving the different architecture style from different regions, not only from Indian outside style also we have adopted here in Indian construction. For example, the Vijayanagara, for example, the elephant stable of the rulers were strongly influenced by the style of the architects found in the adjoining Sultanate of Bijapur and Golconda. See, we can see that one in the coming chapter. The two rulers of the Bijapur and Golconda, that is one is in Karnataka, one is in Andhra Pradesh, and both style they are adopting were in Vijayanagara, that again in Karnataka. And in Vrindavan near Madura temple were constructed in architectural style that were very similar to the Mughal palaces in the Fatehpur Sikri. The Madura, that is in UP Madura, and what they constructed, that is more or less same style of the Fatehpur Sikri, how the Mughal kings they made their palace. The creation of a large empire that brought different regions under their rule helped in this cross fertilization of artistic forms and the architectural style. Why we are getting like this relation? Because we are having the fusion, because the kings they are reaching to far away places and they are learning the new styles from there, and like that it is the coming how the culture is coming in a fusion, like that art and architecture style also coming in the fusion. And Mughal rulers were particularly skilled in adapting regional architect style in the construction of their own building. The Mughal kings they was very famous or very particular about the adapting the new styles from where they are visiting. In Bengal, for example, the local rulers had developed a roof that was designed to resemble the thatched hut. The Mughal liked this Bangla dome. What they was calling it is Bangla dome. From where they got it? That is from Bengal. What they are making, we can see that figure here. The thatched home like that they are making the construction, the roof construction. That's the same style that Mughals also using that coming architectural style. We can see that one in the coming lessons we can see. And in so much that they used their architecture, the impact of their region was so evident. In Akbar's capital at Fatehpur Sikri, many of the buildings shows the influence of architecture style of Gujarat and Malwa. That is in the eastern part of the western part of India, that is the western part of India, that is Gujarat and Malwa style imitated by Akbar when he made his capital in buildings in his capital Fatehpur Sikri. Even though the authority of the Mughal rulers waned in 18th century, the architectural style developed under their patronage was constantly used and adopted by other rulers whenever they tried to establish their own kingdom. Even though they got means the threat from other kings like Shivaji Maharaja like that, but what they made already the buildings, the other kings when they came and started rule or they captured that area, they are continuing that the same way of construction, or other rulers also started to develop the building style what the Mughals adopted from different parts of the world or different parts of India. We have seen that influence of Bengal building construction, influence of this Karnataka and Golconda construction style, then Gujarat construction style, like that every construction style they are imitating. And here it is given very few examples, and if you are visiting these buildings we can see all these things lively, and some of the buildings the not having that much maintenance, and some of the buildings perished by British people. That is the condition. So figure 17 it is showing like that the decorated pillars and the struts holding of the extension of the roof in Jodhbai Palace in Fatehpur Sikri. These follow architect's tradition of the Gujarat region. What they followed, that is the method of Gujarat region construction. And in elsewhere, what is happening in the world, churches that touches the skies. We are studying from 8th century to 18th century. In that time in the world, what was the construction style? We are going to see one of the example. From 12th century onwards, attempt began in France to build churches that were and lighter than earlier building. This architect style is known as Gothic. We can see they are making the maximum heighted building, and light means the very narrow and heighted building. So that style is known as Gothic and was distinguished by high pointed arches. We can see high pointed arches here. We can see in the door side also we can see the arches, and others the upside also we can see the arches, and back side also we can see the arches like that. In different way they was making the many high pointed arches. And the use of stained glass often painted with scenes drawn from Bible and flying buttresses. What they was making the windows upside of all these things, they was making the glass building, glass painting. It is not clear that much here in this picture. Then also we can see this is the glass window, and here upside of the door, that also glass window, this also glass, and everywhere they are making the painted glass windows or the window glasses, or the upside the door there was making. That is the pictures there was making from Bible, which is explaining in the Bible like that. The tall spires and the bell tower which were visible from the distance were added to the church. In that time we can see the bell tower they are making separately. And on the best known example of this architecture style is the Church of the Notre Dame in Paris, which was constructed through several decades in 12th and 13th century. 2 centuries, nearby 2 centuries they taken to construct the building, and that is the Notre Dame church in Paris. So we are getting the question like that activity. Look at the illustration and try and identify the bell tower. Where is the bell tower that we want to identify from this picture? Okay, then imagine you are an artisan standing on a tiny wooden platform held together by bamboo and rope 50 meters above the ground. You have to place an inscription under the first balcony of the minar. How do you do this? Means if we are an artist, or we are doing the artistic work, how we will do that one if it is 50 meters above from the ground, and can we stand or can we lay down? And if you are going to the buildings what they constructed and the paintings of the roof, the artisan can't stand and do like that painting. So what they was making a platform to lay down and make the paintings or carvings. That much strain they taken. Okay, as an artist, in what style you will take it, or in which method you will sitting upside and doing, or making some lying down platform and doing, or standing and doing, in which way you will do that you can find out. I think now you got all the questions and answer. We have discussed all the questions starting of the lesson itself. Now I think you got the answer. So this is the time to write your question answer, and that is your homework. Right, let's recall and let's understand both question and answer. Means 4 questions in let's recall and 4 questions in let's understand. Let's discuss and let's do that. We will do afterwards. Thank you. Have a nice day and enjoy and do your work properly. Thank you.